Alright, so made a little bit of a mistake. I forgot to start recording before I put this in, but this is how I'm going to set up my driftwood and rocks. I do have some more rocks and driftwood coming. I don't know if I'm going to use them, quite honestly, because this is a bigger piece than I originally thought, but we'll see how it looks afterwards. So now that I've got the rocks in, because the Akara are diggers, they're going to dig and stuff, I put everything in before I put any of the substrate. And after this is set up like this, I'm going to start putting the substrate in so that way I can, get everything planted. So let's go. All right. So for substrate, I'm using coco peat. Honestly, I've never seen anyone else really use this, but I did some research and apparently there's been good results with it. So we're going to give it a shot. It's definitely a lot cheaper than your typical aqua soil. So we'll see how this works. And then on top of it, I'm going to put what they call, it's vermicast, I believe it's called. And that's essentially going to give me a little bit more nutrients than what this has. So that should help as well, just for long-term nutrients. This seems to be, from what I understand, a little more short-term. But yeah, I think this bag was only like a few hundred pesos. So, and it's definitely large enough to fill up quite a bit of the tank. So we're going to throw this down first and see how it goes. Alright, so we got most of that in. I'm just going to smooth it around here. I only put it in the spots that I plan on actually planting stuff. So, because the Akara's dig, I want to make sure, everything's going to be alright. Break up all these clumps that are in here, which actually break apart very easily. Now, from what I read, this stuff is going to compress once I get some water in here. So, but it does feel like it's, already up pretty decent. I'm going to put a little bit more around that driftwood. So I'm going to put some plants there. Now I did put some here. It's actually a little bit of a mistake. I didn't know if I wanted to do it or not. I just did it. The big thing is I want it back in here because I'm going to plant some plants up in here and stuff, so that way this whole corner kind of doesn't look like it does. But I'm hoping the car are going to hang out here, kind of make this their little spot, which if they do, they are going to be in that that substrate there, more than likely, but that's okay. We live and we learn. Put that in. All right. I actually feel pretty decent. I'm just gonna put a little bit more, make it a little bit higher, because all that's going to do is help provide more nutrients down the road and give me a better look. So, a bit more around the tip of this driftwood, because we are going to have plants there. Oops. Not mean to get all that up there. Definitely just gonna need more underneath that tip. Got my short man stool because, oh, I'm short. Yeah, kind of something going on like this, I think. Ouch. There. I think that's kind of how we want it to look, because that's our plan. Along the whole back wall, I'm going to have some of the stem plants there. I'm going to have some anubias up here on the driftwood and a little bit probably there on the rocks. I'm also going to have some stem plants right behind this rock on the right there, because I did leave a gap like so. I can show you guys actually here in just a second. And then a lot of this here is going to be a little swim area. It's going to be kind of sandy with some just stems periodically, and then we're going to have more right here around the driftwood. And then my idea is the cars are hopefully going to be over here, and then big archway underneath there for everything to swim in and out of. So, and then just to show you guys what the top down look is looking like. See it. All right, so we're back. Had to leave for a minute. We actually went to an aquarium to see if there was any fish there, or a fish shop, you know, to see if there's any fish there I wanted to buy. Obviously not right now, but just for the future, because I am having some problems finding the fish that I want here. So then on the way back, stopped and got me a little haircut. So y'all want to see? I went from hair to no hair. Obviously, after we get all this in, we can always spread it out, but I want to get it as kind of as close as possible to what we're looking at doing right off the bat, just because it makes it the best. This is the pane, so I should just go through and open all these and set them here. I think that's what I'm going to do. Let's do that instead. All right, so we got all the sand in there. We made a nice level towards the back. So the back is actually about an inch higher than it is in the front. So it definitely adds a little bit of depth there. I'm really liking how this looks so far. So I'm gonna get these other two pieces of driftwood kind of scrubbed up. I'm gonna get the rock scrubbed up, get them placed in here. And then after that, we're gonna put the anubis in, because that's probably gonna take some glue on top of the driftwood pieces and the rock. And then after that, we'll get some water in here and we'll put the rest of the plants in, and then we're good. And then we're just waiting. We're gonna run this through the fishless cycle. We're gonna put our bacteria in there. This is one thing I did not get for the budget build as far as being budget. This is the cheaper ones that you can get, but it's the Frites Zyme 7. It's a live bacteria. What this is going to do is help really kickstart the cycling, so I can get fish in here as soon as possible. And then as far as the rest goes, just so you guys are all aware, because this is budget building, this giant piece of driftwood here that you guys are like, that thing's like $100 or more, it's free. It came with the tanks, so did those rocks. The rest of the stuff was actually very cheap. It only cost me about $12. So, I mean, as far as that goes, that's not very much. So we're going to get the rocks and everything cleaned up and keep going.